What's up, guys? So today I'm going to show you a flight of the twin engine flight test Arrow. I threw up a couple of pics on my Instagram at Flying Nerdy. You can see what we've got going on there. But anyway, so we're going to fly this today, and just to give you a quick idea of how this thing works. It is basically a mashup between the flight test Mighty Mini Arrow and the flight test Spear. What I was wanting to do was build a wing that was similar to the S800. I forget who makes those, but something that would carry a little bigger battery than the 1000 milliamp that I have been using. So this one will carry a 2200 pretty easily, and I haven't gotten my FPV gear going on this one yet because I have broken all my cameras. But anyway, I had to kind of figure out where the balance was going to be with this 2200, and so we pretty much figured that out. And anyway, so we'll get this thing buttoned up and we'll throw it in the air. So I'm also shooting this video with the Akaso EK7000 GoPro, if you will. Anyway, I'm shooting in 1080p and at 60 FPS. So we'll see how this thing turns out. All right. So anyway, I'll get started with this. Hopefully the camera's just showing what we've got going on here. So for the battery to sit in here and be at center is just right in here, so that this thing will balance, and we'll check the balance. I think the CG was right kind of in this area, and it's a little, I think it was right in here. Is that about right? Yeah. So we're gonna go with this, and the wind is, the weatherman would call it light and variable. It's just a little behind me, but we've got this nice big open field here to fly in, and I'm using the Spectrum DX6 radio. So I'm gonna move down here to my black Arrow. There we go. Give my control surfaces a little test. Everything looks good there. This thing is a screamer with these two motors. So, all right. So let's just throw this thing in the air. No problem taking off. Need to give it a little down elevator here. I'm running, dial it down to about half throttle right there. I did an endurance test yesterday. The 2200 in this airplane, I got 19 minutes of flight, and that was at half throttle, and I couldn't give you a speed on that, maybe 30 miles an hour. So if you could throw some long-range radio and FPV gear in there, you'd easily get maybe 12 miles, 10 miles out breaking a sweat. So it'd be nice to open that up. We'll get this thing dialed in, and I'll hit the full throttle. It's a little twitchy. I honestly don't remember where my expo was set. You know how it is when you get a new airplane. You want to Want to take it easy till you really figure it out. That's about half throttle right here. Let's bump it on up a little bit. It's about 75%. We'll bump it on up here in just a second. Really open this plane up. These flying wings are a lot of fun to fly. You can, especially when you get FPV and really get in this thing. They're a lot of fun to fly. You can hear how loud that thing is. Right about there. It's maybe 120 yards away. So we'll go ahead and bump this thing up. And that's full throttle right there. One thing I do want to show you is we'll get this thing turned around and get the nose pointed in the wind, and I'll show you what it'll do when you completely chop the throttle. Let's get it turned around here, and all right, so that is dead stick, no throttle. I think the wind is playing with us up there a little bit. And as soon as I get a camera ordered and get in, we'll take this thing FPV and we'll really go for a ride on it. So this is the modified Aero twin engine. These are 2204 2300 kV motors that I salvaged off of an Aries Crossfire quad. The speed controllers also came off of that quad, and I think in this whole plane I've got about $20, maybe $25. And being that it's a custom build, I think it was about 6 hours of build time, but one of the stock FT Aeros takes about, you can build one of those and really take your time in about 3 hours, which is not too bad. Spend the evening building and come out and fly the next day. So we'll go ahead and see if we can bring this thing in, and see what we got here. And the wind being variable, it seems like it just doesn't really want to float today. So we do have to give it just a touch of throttle, and that's a little high to come in right there. So we'll make another pass. I'm having to dodge these poles out here at this baseball field. I can make it a little tricky, but we've got plenty of room to bring this thing in. I hope this is showing up on this camera. If nothing else, it sounds really cool. All right, there we go. Give it just a little bit of throttle. I'm trying not to hit this. It's still too high. I think it's catching the wind up there and making it float a little bit. So I'll give it one more shot. I say one more. We'll take as many as it takes to bring the thing in right. One thing I think it needs is, with the added fuselage, the stock vertical stabilizers may be a little too small. I may need to look at putting a bigger stabilizer on. So there we go. All right, now we hit the little curve here, and a little crinkle in it. That's fine, no big deal. So anyway, that's the twin engine flight test Mighty Mini Aero, and you can see I've got this wooden spar in there. It goes from box bar to box bar on each side to really stiffen this thing up. So anyway, that's it. Any questions, drop them in the comments, and share this with some of your RC buddies. They might like to see that. All right, thanks for watching.